Friend, if you found this today, you're going to discover a very unique and interesting message that will sound counter to your experiences, yet is more accurate about reality than you can imagine. It'll help you unlock independence and freedom and get you to the goals that you want in life. Hi, I'm Justin Hitt with Inside Strategic Relations. You may not realize the packaging and sorting that technology places upon you, how the world around you is shaping what you see and what you hear, and how now more than ever you have to question, is the reality that you have, the world that you live in, the career that you've chosen, the activities that you do by your own desire, or were they programmed into you? Now, this is not a metaphysical discussion about anything other than the powers of influence. So, the world around you seeks to influence your everyday activities. So, whether you're young, just starting a career, there's your parents, there's your professors, there's the world around you, really nudging you and pushing you towards a certain career. And they want you to be successful in a career usually measured by money alone. Yet, even if you earn a lot of money, it may not be fulfilling, it may not actually have any independence or flexibility, and it may seem more of a trap than a decision. Yet in other cases, you may be wonderfully moving along and consuming as you grow a little bit older and gain more experience and start becoming, raising a family. And then that's when it hits you that you're not as prepared as you thought you were. The world around you is moving faster than you can imagine. The career that was hyped up by career counselors and parents and everything is now saturated. Rates are dropping. People are getting laid off. The economy is struggling. Yet you have gone out and sought answers because you still want freedom, independence, to escape from a prison of desire and gain independence so that you can grow. A freedom that allows you to do what you want without fear of being canceled, without fear of being judged, without fear of losing face and being left behind in what seems to be a moving parade that gets better and better for everybody else, but never improves for yourself. See, this is part of that programming and packaging that is done in society through marketing, through how politicians speak, through how interest groups and lobby groups position people, sometimes even pit them against each other. And it doesn't give you the freedom that you desire. It may give you some excitement and adventure, but it doesn't deliver real meaning, long-term outcomes. So if you have a career orientation, you want to make sure you're able to advance in a career and actually advance to be better off than when you first started. Now, something we cover very often here is that typically any employee who starts a job, within 5 years, their buying power is 1/2 of what they started with. Now, why is that? Well, it's, of course, businesses want to get maximum value before minimum dollars, so they give you token rewards for your activity. Many times when you're a young worker or even you've been in the business for a while, they pay you just enough to keep you from quitting. Now, that's okay because many people only deliver as much service as keeps them from getting fired. But ultimately, if you want to be innovative, or even just seen as innovative, knowledgeable, and be ahead of curve in your industry, it takes a little bit more. Now, the good news is that what most people contribute to their career, to their life, to their happiness, to their well-being is minuscule compared to what is required to achieve the outcomes that you desire. Now, when I work with clients, I tailor the solutions to each individual client, to their unique needs and goals, and that means that they have to start with some kind of clear idea, some kind of clear objective. So let's start simply with the freedom to do what you want, and the flexibility to be independent in those activities. How do you achieve that in a world that is commercially designed to observe, package, and put you in a group? So, for example, if they have sayings like "Okay, Boomer." So just because you're a little bit older and you're born in a different time period, just because you value freedom, independence, self-expression, just because you want to make an impact in your community and contribute to the greater good, and you're a little bit older, they say, "Okay, Boomer." Dismiss what you've got to say. Now, who's the they? Well, sometimes it's younger individuals that have very little experience. They have no tools to judge what you want, and they desire excitement and adventure and a chance to make a difference. But wait a second. Their chance to make a difference, their desire for financial success, their desire to improve relationships with colleagues and stuff, their want for confidence and self-esteem, credibility in their industry is the same as the boomers. The only difference is their years of experience. So what I advocate in the inside strategic relations world is to develop and cultivate communities of interest so that you can connect with the right people that can drive forward opportunity. See, a young person who's restless and they fall into these memes of "Okay, Boomer" is cutting off an opportunity to find a mentor, to find somebody who can help them navigate through the challenges of building a career, the challenges of building professional networks. See, if everybody around you is just like you, you're in a prison cell. You're in a pigeonhole. You've been categorized. You've been given a label. If everybody around you is just like you have no value to give or to gain. Now understand, this is very important. Surround yourself with people who are better than you, better morally, better physically, better emotionally, better mentally, because at least what will happen is some of these good traits and behaviors will rub off. So that's why it's important to be involved in your church or civic or fraternal organizations. Even joining the right country club or joining the right business association and being actively involved gives you an opportunity to be around people who can mentor you, who can help lift you up, who can help connect you to the right people. But that's very selfish. That's consuming. And by telling you this alone, by showing you how to consume, I'm actually trapping you. Because if you're in a position right now where you can't help other people, you miss out of the hourglass philosophy, which is that you can be mentored by people above you who have already achieved the goals that you want, but you can also help other people achieve the goals and desires they want. So you can be that point of interest that organizes those who you can deliver to the promised land while you're working with the experts who can bring you forward in achievement. This is a producer's mentality. This is an adoption of behavior that stimulates intellectual growth. It helps you gain social status and recognition in a meaningful way. Not being an influencer on social media, not shaking your butt a certain way or having a certain physical appearance. You can be the ugliest duck on the planet and still have the influence and power and control to be seen as innovative and knowledgeable, to be ahead of the curve in your industry, to be well recognized, to have the value of stable and secure income streams, stable and secure relationships, and without selling yourself, without degrading yourself, without doing things that are against your moral standing, without adapting to the pressures of society. Because remember, the majority in society follows the majority in society. They aren't thinking about what they're doing. Now, in other programs, we've talked about mass psychosis. We've talked about mind control in the sense of how marketing and propaganda influences thoughts and opinions, and about how this is an active part of the media around you. Remember, I said earlier that many people don't realize that they're being packaged up and sorted by technology. Have you ever gone to a website and searched for a product, and then it seems like every other website you go to, there's an advertisement for the same product? You ever thought about the times that you've said something offhand in a room, in front of your smart television, in front of your iPhone, and next thing you know, you're being stalked by advertisers? That's again because the companies today, the corporations today, have perfected and figured out how to monetize your attention So they give you an unlimited number of videos on YouTube that YouTube didn't do anything other than build the platform. They've encouraged others through their own self-ego, through their own self-interest, through promises that they're going to be famous. It has lured them in to create content, unlimited numbers of content, where you go watch the videos, and as you watch videos, they build up audience segmentation, cohorts, audience groups, add cookies to your browser. Now, this is good and bad. It's really neutral in a sense, because if you are a marketer, if you're a producer in the marketplace, you can use this information to help other people. But if you're selling a product, or if you're not selling a product or service and you're simply consuming, then you could be overwhelmed by consumption. Your desires shaped, what you believe is good being shaped. All the content you start seeing becomes a bubble around you. And then rather than having growth in your mind and understanding of the world as it is, you start believing the world as it's being sold upon you. So again, it's about relationships. It's about building your professional network. It's about cultivating a diverse range of experiences and interactions. It's about production rather than consumption. These things will free your mind. These things will open the world up to you. These things will build the confidence that you need to speak even more clearly. Now remember, we talked about people's fears. They fear being canceled, saying the wrong thing. Listen, folks, I'd rather someone say the wrong thing and know they were a fool than have them hide it so well in the shame and pressure of society as it to cause more problems than it would if we simply talked about it. Think about that, folks. Think about it. It doesn't matter if you're living in an urban space or a rural space. Very often those two groups are pressured against each other. It doesn't matter if you have a career or you decide to stay at home. It doesn't matter if you're a suburban family, an urban family, or a rural family. The safety, security, stability, these things are desires that you can achieve through understanding how to interact with each other, by how to persuade and pursue each other, by how to serve each other. Now, the purpose of this newsletter, of course, is going to deliver these skills to you that put you in the higher levels of the socioeconomic scale, that lifts you up from the challenges that you face, that gives you certain levels of freedom that are not commonly available with other people. Because as we see in this world, as in many other societies throughout history, those who have power tend to treat others as livestock. They tell them what medicine to take. They tell them what jobs to work. They give them economic forecasts and outlooks to persuade them into careers that these organizations and leaders have already invested in. Now you might say, well, Justin, how do we bring down the establishment? No, it's not about destruction. It's about understanding how things are and then positioning yourself within this realm, doing what is right to achieve more, to have more, to be more, to create greater impact, to build yourself up as a most valuable player on the team, to build your family, to build your community, and to build insulation and independence from the chaos, which is a world full of people that are following the follower, that are living their package as they're told. Folks, I could go into more detail here, but a lot of these channels don't like me to talk about these things. But think about it. When someone tells you, because you are X, you should know Y, they don't know you. You're an independent person with unique experiences. And that's why I believe that if you found this program today and you have questions about what I've shared here, or even questions about the challenges you face, that you're going to visit my website at www.insidestrategicrelations.com. See, I can't guarantee that your comments are going to get to me if you hear this on Apple Podcasts or YouTube, or you hear it on different podcast platforms. So I want you to go directly to the website, www.insidestrategicrelations.com. Go to the contact page, contact me, ask your questions. Because here's what I want to do. I want to be the person that I just described to you. I want to be someone who, again, I've invested in mentors over the years. I've invested in mastermind programs. I've invested in books and resources to improve my skill set so I can maximize my value to the marketplace. I've mentored individuals and coached individuals so that I can help other people come up to where I am skill-wise, whether they're younger and they need experience in the field, or they've asked questions because they're expanding their base of knowledge so they can be more valuable. And I do that through your questions. So this program today that I'm talking about is built on your questions. It's built on the concerns of newsletter subscribers. And of course, when you ask questions there, I'll give you a free copy of my newsletter so you can stimulate growth in your career, so you can gain social status, so you can be ahead of the curve in your industry, so you can be independent of the masses. Now, this is a unique position, and I'm advocating it for only those who have a keen interest and sought out the information that you heard today. And as I do many times, and I'll talk about in another podcast, I ask you to do a little bit of work up front. So if you have questions about this program or anything else we have to offer, please ask those questions. You'll find other podcasts wherever you're listening to this podcast where you'll learn strategies for building a winning team, a culture of success to achieve maximum productivity. You'll learn how you can eliminate fears so they don't hold you back. Practical tips for staying organized and focused. But it starts today with understanding that you're here for a reason. You're here with purpose. You're here to create results, and it starts right now. I'm Justin Hitt with Inside Strategic Relations, and congratulations, you're at the start of your journey.